Welcome to About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. I'm Steve Casillo with the May 1st, 2024, 220th edition. Colleen Daniel is in Studio West. We are here with the About Mansfield news team. I want to thank Marilyn Hyder for filling in last week. I'll tell you more about her in the program notes at the end of the news segment. Coming up, it's Mansfield News, Talk, and Information.
And a little later in the episode, you will have a chance to win a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice with our Mansfield Trivia Question, courtesy of Joe Jenkins Insurance.
Let's take a look at the stories we're covering this week.
Early voting comes to an end in Mansfield.
New York-based company to open window plant in Mansfield.
Mansfield Police corral runaway horse after 3-mile chase.
City plans events in preparation to say goodbye to a community landmark. And in sports, it's playoff time in Mansfield.
And in the talk segment, Steve talks in studio with Mrs. Mansfield, Mitchelle Handley, about her quest to become Mrs. Texas. We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. This is About Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool Hand, Cool Hand, Cool Hand, where excellence is still cool.
This is Paul Duncan with Trinity Solar Services. That's right, solar. Back in the 1960s, NASA used solar cells in their space missions. But get this, the very first solar cells were actually invented back in 1883. Solar energy has made great strides over the past 140 years, but one theme remains constant: solar works. Solar panels are the MVPs of renewable energy. While reducing carbon emissions and taking a stand against climate change, solar panels can also help to greatly reduce your electric bill. Trinity Solar Services is your sun-powered solutions, and we want to deck out your home with top-notch Tier 1 panels without breaking the bank. Reach out to us today for a complimentary quote. Trinity Solar Services is a Mansfield-based company that's all about building relationships through good old-fashioned, family-owned business values. Find us online at trinitysolarservices.com. That's trinitysolarservices.com.
Are you ready to take advantage of falling mortgage interest rates in the coming months? This is Roger with the Roger and Beth team. With housing demand predicted to increase across the DFW Metroplex, the Roger and Beth team are standing by to help move you and your family forward. No move in your future? That's okay too. It's time for your annual review of your real estate portfolio, and we're happy to help. Contact us at homesinmansfield.com. That's homesinmansfield.com.
Hi, I'm Corey Berlin, 2022 Boston Marathon finisher, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield. This portion of the news is brought to you by the Grandview Event Center in Mansfield.
Well, it's all over except for Election Day. We're talking about early voting, which ended on Tuesday. And now we wait until Saturday evening to see who Mansfield area voters elected for Mansfield ISD School Board, as well as the Tarrant County Appraisal District Board and the 5-proposition $777 million MISD bond election. When it comes to early voting, Texas is a pioneer, having become the first U.S. state to offer in-person early voting back in the 1980s. Early voting was enacted to enable Texas voters to cast their ballots in the days and weeks before an election to make the voting process more convenient and accessible. Again, early voting has ended, and if you have yet to cast your vote, your final chance is on Election Day, Saturday, May 4th. Visit votetexas.gov to see when and where you can cast your vote.
A New York-based manufacturer is set to establish a cutting-edge manufacturing hub and regional headquarters in Mansfield, promising the creation of over 500 job opportunities. Headquartered in Flushing, New York, Crystal Window and Door Systems specializes in vinyl and aluminum windows and related building fixtures. The chosen site will span 44 acres near Highway 287 and Justice Lane, just north of the Mansfield Jail and Police Training Center, and will house the manufacturing facility over 4 phases, initially covering 650,000 square feet. with an investment totaling $136 million. Subsequent phases will accommodate corporate headquarters expansion, adding around 100 jobs. Governor Greg Abbott's office will contribute more than $121 million to the project, while the Texas Enterprise Fund has granted $3.15 million with an additional $15,000 veteran-created jobs bonus. Crystal Window and Door Systems currently operates 5 manufacturing plants nationwide.
Mansfield police officers showcased their exceptional corral skills in a daring horse roundup Saturday afternoon. Responding to a call about a horse on the loose near Main and Broad Streets, officers swiftly located the equine wandering northbound on Main Street. Despite the horse's evasive maneuvers, officers managed to safely guide the horse to a safe and secure area on Moore Road, adjacent to Cha-Cha's Mexican restaurant, just over 3 miles from where the roundup began. Assisting the officers were a local hero named Avery, who came armed with a horse lead, and Tarrant County Livestock with the use of their horse trailer. The owner and horse have been reunited. No word on how the horse was able to flee the scene in the first place.
The city is asking residents to join together for 2 fun-filled nights in June as the community bids farewell to the lot downtown. The city will host 2 final community gatherings this summer before the lot closes its doors for good, and historic Mansfield begins its transition into something bigger and better. The city-owned entertainment space will host 2 complimentary concerts. On June 28th, Swifties won't want to miss the Taylor Swift cover band Taylor Nation, while on June 29th, all Parrot Heads are invited to flock to the venue for a lively party with the Jimmy Buffett tribute band Bluffett. Both shows start at 7 p.m. Once it's closed, the lot will make way for the Water District, a mixed-use micro-district development inspired by Denver's Dairy Block. Its name pays homage to downtown Mansfield's historic past when Main Street was called Water Street, home to the town's only water well. Changes to downtown aim to infuse more consistent vitality, activity, and walkability into the district. It's playoff time in Mansfield, and we'll talk about it because sports is next.
Are you ready to create unforgettable memories? Picture this: an enchanting event venue nestled amidst breathtaking landscapes with panoramic views right here in Mansfield. The Grandview Event Center is the perfect setting to bring your vision to life. From intimate gatherings to large-scale extravaganzas, the Grandview has flexible spaces to accommodate any occasion, be it a graduation or school function, art exhibition, or birthday or anniversary party. Book your next unforgettable experience at thegrandviewmansfield.com. That's thegrandviewmansfield.com. The Grandview Event Center, where memories are made and dreams become reality. Book your event today.
I'm Philip Washington, Chief Investment Officer of Stonehill Wealth Management and host of the Wealth Building Made Simple podcast. First book I read in college was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it changed my life. And since then, I've read tons and tons of books on money. And what I've done is taken those lessons, simplified them, and I talk about those lessons on my podcast, Wealth Building Made Simple. So come hang out with us. We're on every major platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube, Wealth Building Made Simple.
In sports, it's playoff time for baseball, golf, and track and field. Let's start with baseball in the Bi-District Best of 3 Series playoffs. In 5A, Timberview Wolves go head-to-head with Grapevine. Switching to 6A, Lake Ridge Eagles take on Pflugerville Weiss. Legacy Broncos go against Harker Heights. And your 6A division champion Mansfield Tigers play Temple. All games are played Thursday, Friday, and if needed, on Saturday. We now head to White Wing Golf Club in Georgetown as Monday was day 1 of the 6A Boys Golf State Championship. And as of this recording, the Mansfield High School boys were in 5th place as a team, 19 strokes off the lead. Patrick Babb posted a 3 over 75 for the Tigers on Monday, followed by Ty Crismer with a 76 and Caden Dunaway closing out his first round with a 77. Round 2 was played on Tuesday after this podcast recording deadline. You can follow their progress by going to our website, aboutmansfield.com, and clicking on the links tab. The Mansfield Tiger girls golf team is heading to Georgetown next week for the 6A Girls Golf State Championship. We'll have an update next week, and the results will also be on our website links page. And we conclude with track and field, as Summit and Timberview will be representing Mansfield ISD's 5A teams, while your Mansfield Tigers will rep the 6A division Thursday and Friday at UT Austin's Mike A. Myers Stadium. Timberview girls will compete in the 4x100 and 4x200 relays, while the Wolves boys will have a go at the 4x100, 4x200, and 4x400 relays, 110 and 300 meter hurdles, 100 and 200 meter dash, and long jump. Summit will compete in boys 800 meter run, boys shot put, girls high jump, and girls triple jump. At the 6A level, Mansfield will compete in the 4x100 relay and the high jump. If you have a comment about the show, the news, whatever's on your mind locally, you can reach us by voicemail at 817-435-2938. Again, 817-435-2938. A couple of program notes today. The About Mansfield School Board candidate interviews are now available on our website. Visit aboutmansfield.com and spend 30 minutes with each candidate. Again, go to aboutmansfield.com. At the top of the page, click on School Board Interviews. Election Day is Saturday, May 4th. And I want to take a second to give a proper thanks to Marilyn Hyder for filling in my absence last week. Marilyn is a longtime friend and a consummate award-winning professional. Having recently retired from a 40-year career in radio news, I had the pleasure of working side by side with Marilyn for 7 years at Kogo Radio, San Diego's #1 news talk radio station. Thank you again, Marilyn. By the way, I'm taking off the last week of June. If you would like to have a shot at guest hosting this podcast, email a 60-second audio audition of you reading the news to info@aboutmansfield.com. We will be choosing my replacement sometime in the next couple of weeks. There are so many awesome National Day ofs in the next coming week. We've got May Day, National Day of Prayer, National Space Day, Star Wars Day, African World Heritage Day, World Laughter Day, Teacher Appreciation Week, and so on. But the number one thing that caught my eye takes place this Friday, May 3rd, National No Pants Day. Yes, it's a quirky holiday where people ditch their dungarees and embrace the freedom of wearing only underwear in public places. No Pants Day started out as a joke sometime back in the 1980s in, of course, Austin, Texas. It is a lighthearted and playful holiday that you can also participate on this day and experience how it feels to free your gams and go pantsless. This is your chance to let the inner child shine and break away from the social norms. Or we could just pay tribute to General Larry Platt by singing his theme song.
Pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground, with the gold in your mouth, hat turned sideways, pants hit the ground, call yourself a cool cat, looking like a fool, walking downtown with your pants on the ground, giddy up.
Giddy up.
Coming up after the break, we turn the page to the features section.
City Tourism Manager Tim Roberts joins us with the monthly cultural arts calendar.
Today, we're tackling a topic that affects millions of people, but it doesn't have to be a downer. Type 2 diabetes. I'm Angel Biasatti, and we'll learn more in Methodist Mansfield News to Know.
Inflation has taken a toll on all of our monthly budgets, but now is not the time to consider foreclosure on your home. I'm Beth Steinke, and we'll discuss your options on the Mansfield Real Estate Report.
In this week's Cocktail of the Week, I'll be talking about a cocktail that is a frosty, refreshing Southern classic steeped in tradition and Derby lore.
We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
This portion of the news was brought to you by the Grandview Event Center in Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool hand, cool hand, cool hand, where excellence is still cool.
At Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, we've been caring for our home team for over 15 years. Today, you'll find award-winning physicians on the medical staff, advanced neurosurgery, a level 3 trauma center, critical care for newborns, and comprehensive orthopedic care. Methodist Mansfield, delivering the care our friends, neighbors, and home team depend on. That's community, and why so many people trust Methodist.
Congratulations to Mike Lynn, who knew that the Ben Barber Robotics team is named the Fighting Pickles due to its proximity to the Best Made Pickle plant located across the street from the school. I love the smell of vinegar in the morning. When we come back, this week's trivia question. This is About Mansfield.
Hey, it's Steve Casillo, and are you ready to make your voice heard? Want to bring out your ideas to life through captivating conversations and engaging visuals? Look no further than Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio, your one-stop destination for award-winning audio and video podcast recording. Equipped with cutting-edge microphones, crystal clear audio recording, and high-definition cameras, we're here to turn your ideas into engrossing content. But it's not just about the equipment. We're dedicated to bringing out the best in your content. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, we're here to elevate your podcasting game. We'll even help you with intro music, transitions, voiceover, and that professional polish that sets your podcast apart. So whether you're into interviews, storytelling, or simply sharing your expertise, Podcast Mansfield can help bring your podcasting dreams to life. Visit podcastmansfield.com. Podcast Mansfield, where creating your podcast masterpiece has never been easier.
Hi, this is Joe Jenkins with Joe Jenkins Farmers Insurance, specializing in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. I was born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. We're active in the community, and Mansfield's a town we really care about. Our office has over 30 years experience in the insurance industry, and we're passionate about what we do and about customer service. For a free quote, please visit our website at joejenkinsinsurance.com or give us a call at 817-472-6058. Once again, that website is joejenkinsinsurance.com.
It is time right now, right here, right now, for the highly coveted, wildly popular About Mansfield Trivia Question. If you are the first person to email the correct answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com, you will receive a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice. It's brought to you by Joe Jenkins Insurance. Whether you're looking for homeowners, auto, commercial, or any other type of insurance, Joe has helped Mansfield area restaurants understand the insurance coverage that best fit their needs since 2010. You can find him on the internet at joejenkinsinsurance.com. Colleen, it's your turn.
Well, Steve, travelers visiting Mansfield have a wide variety of choices when it comes to the 9 hotels within the city. This week's trivia question is, who owned the first hotel in Mansfield? Email your answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com. Again, who owned the first hotel in Mansfield? Good luck, and thanks to Joe Jenkins Insurance for the gift card.
Hi, I'm Latasha Tagle, Executive Director of the Levitt Pavilion, Arlington, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. Let's open up the features section.
It is the 1st of May. It is the first of the month, the first week of the month, and that's when we bring in our tourism manager, Tim Roberts. Cultural arts calendar is what we call this. First of all, Tim, welcome back to About Mansfield.
Great to be back. I heard you just came back from vacation, so, back to the grindstone, I guess.
I'm really surprised I didn't come back with my New York accent because, we ate pizza. We went to a Yankees game. We went to Radio City Music Hall. We did all the things that one can do in New York.
Checked all the boxes.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the cultural arts calendar. Something old becomes something new again as the farm and cottage market moves back to its old location.
Yep, Mansfield Farm and Cottage Market, one of our cultural arts partners that we've kind of worked with here over the last 2 years. They're moving back to 703 East Broad Street. That's the parking lot with the Mansfield Mission Center, the Sonic, the Breezy Snow Cone stand. So, that's what everybody in town knows it for. They open up Saturday, May 4th, 8 a.m. to noon, and they'll be open up every Saturday from then on all the way into November. They do a great job of making sure there's lots of great vendors out there, a huge variety of them, plus have live performers on hand, a bunch of hands-on arts activities. So a great time to go check them out as they really kind of launch their second full season here in town.
I got to tell you, the Mansfield Farm and Cottage Market is actually a great place to go people watch. That, you just bring a chair and sit down, or even just right by the snow cone place. They do have some tables and chairs out there. Pull up a chair and just watch the people. That's entertainment in itself. But, bring $5 and buy a cucumber or something while you're there. All right. The next three involve the Far Best Theater. And the first one on the list involves a very, very dear, one of the nicest people in all of Mansfield.
Absolutely one of the nicest people. Taronda Hillman, she is back with Daughter of the Other Woman. I believe she's performed this twice now.
Yes.
It is a one-woman show, semi-autobiographical based on the book that she wrote about her life. It just tells the story of her life. She plays every character. She has outfits. There's wigs. There's voice changes. You'll laugh. You'll cry. All of that. It's been such a popular show that she's bringing back for the third time at the Far Best Theater. That'll be May 11th and 12th. The 11th is an evening show. The 12th will be a matinee. So if you have not had a chance to see this, you got to come out and check it out. She's a dynamic performer, does it all, writes it, performs it, directs it. It's literally is a one-woman show start to finish.
And then the following week, May 16th, what's going on at the FAR?
Our open mic night, becoming more and more popular every single month. Mike Gwynn heading that up, just creating such a really cool space. I don't want to say like weird talents, but everything from every single spectrum of the arts world shows up to this. And I keep telling people it's a welcoming environment. If you're terrified to get up on stage, I mean, you can get up there and just screech for 3 minutes and poorly play the violin, and that crowd will support you and keep you moving forward in your endeavors. So that's May 16th at 7:30 at the Far Best Theater. Come check it out.
And then finally at the Far, we're actually working our way into June, but June 1st, a gentleman who has been on the show a couple of times, another great guy, and actually a guy that blew my mind right here in this very room when I interviewed him. Let's talk about Braden Daniels.
Braden Daniels got a brand new show. It'll be June 1st, so it's technically the June calendar, but probably won't be shooting the episode right before it happens, so we'll make sure people know about it. Brand new show called A Trio of Tricksters. He's going to be up there on stage with another magician and a comedian. So it's going to be a full-fledged show. Braden Daniels really is a top-tier magician.
Yeah,
the stuff he does, I mean, this is not, kids' birthday party stuff. It is mind-blowing stuff. He does mind reading. The card tricks that he pulls, I just cannot figure out. So if you've never seen Braden Daniels before, this is a great time to go check him out with this brand new show. That'll be June 1st at 7 p.m. at the Far Best Theater.
And then to close out this segment, you've got a shout-out that you'd like to do.
Got to shout out Historical Preservation Month, our partners with the Mansfield Historical Museum, with the city. They have all sorts of events all month long. You can check them out on their Facebook page, as well as the city website. But that includes a downtown car show on May 4th. They got walking tours that'll show some of the artistic designs of downtown every single weekend. And then May 11th is a big one. They've got a history scavenger hunt, a chalk the walk contest in historic downtown. And I literally just found out about this about an hour ago. On May 11th in the Far Best Theater from 1 to 5 p.m., they'll have a free concert from Buttermilk Junction.
Buttermilk Junction.
Yeah, so I'll give you a wild guess what kind of music that is, but it should be a fun afternoon of music. So they have a full stacked month of events as well to check out.
That, my friends, is the Cultural Arts Calendar. That, my friends, is Tim Roberts, the tourism manager for the city of Mansfield. Tim, we'll see you in a month. Thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Thanks for having me.
Angel Biasatti is here with details on type 2 diabetes in Methodist Mansfield. News to know. Angel?
If you have type 2 diabetes, make exercise a regular routine. Get up and get moving. Whether it's hitting the gym, dancing to your favorite tunes, or walking your furry friends, find a way to get active for at least 45 minutes, 5 days a week. Aerobic exercises, like cardio, not only gets your heart pumping, but also helps you lower your glucose levels. So put on those dancing shoes and let's groove our way to better health. Patches make things easier. Say goodbye to daily injections and hello to convenience. Thanks to technology, insulin patches have revolutionized diabetes management. Those nifty patches, some even as small as your fingertip, work with your smartphone app to deliver insulin consistency. Talk about convenience, it's at your fingertips. Be careful if you're pregnant. For all those expecting moms, Pregnancy brings its own sets of challenges when it comes to managing diabetes. Gestational diabetes can be a concern, but with proper guidance from your OB-GYN, it's manageable. Remember, it's all about teamwork between you, your OB-GYN, and your little bundle of joy. Pay attention to your numbers, A1C numbers, that is. The A1C test is your diabetes report card, showing how well you've managed your blood sugar over the past few months. Aim for target levels between 6.5 and 7.5 to reduce the risk of complications. It's like aiming for straight A's in diabetes management. Never stop learning. Keep those brain cells buzzing with knowledge. Regular check-ins with your doctor, attending workshops can provide invaluable insights. Surround yourself with a supportive community of healthcare professionals and fellow diabetes warriors to share challenges and celebrate victories. Managing type 2 diabetes doesn't have to be a chore. It can be fun and an empowering journey. From dancing to better health and embracing technology to staying informed and seeking support, these doctor-approved tips offer a well-rounded approach to diabetes management. Thanks for listening. Remember, every step you take towards better health is a step in the right direction. Keep dancing, keep learning. I'm Angel Biasatti, reporting for the About Mansfield podcast.
Realtor Beth Steinke talks about why you should not be considering foreclosure in the Mansfield real estate market update. Beth?
Gas prices are up, food prices are up, property taxes are up, but pay is stagnant, so you may be considering all of your available options to lower monthly expenses until inflation settles down. But today, let's discuss why you should not be considering foreclosure. Before we get too deep into the conversation, let's understand a little bit more about bank foreclosure. If you miss payments on your mortgage, you are in jeopardy of having the lender seize control of your property and then sell it to recoup their investment, leaving you without any recourse and without any of your home equity or a place to live. I cannot emphasize enough how important this is, but whatever you do, do not miss making those monthly mortgage payments. Making on-time payments puts you in control of your housing options, not the bank. If you've been a frequent listener to the About Mansfield podcast, then you know that housing market has been going up dramatically in the last few years. That means that most homeowners today have a significant amount of equity in their homes. That puts them in a good position to work through a few available options. If you find yourself in a temporary financial crisis, your bank may help you put together a forbearance plan that will give you relief in the short run, possibly by adding payments to the back of your loan or other options. Another possible solution would be a loan modification, reducing your payments by spreading them out over additional years, or other accommodations to help ease your monthly burden. Both of these can take a fair bit of time to complete, so it's important not to wait too long to start the process, and there is no guarantee the bank will approve an agreement for you by the time you need it done. Another temporary relief option that many people fail to consider is renting out a room in your home for extra income. Many people are looking for lower cost roommate situations right now, and it could be a win-win for both of you. There may be an income tax implication, so please consult a CPA as to your particular situation. If you do decide to move forward with a roommate, please be cautious and put your personal safety first always. If your credit and income are good, but your consumer debt is high, you may want to consider a cash-out refinance. This is where you're going to borrow your equity from your home. Your monthly payment will likely go up, but if you can eliminate enough of your other monthly debt, the net change may be positive cash flow. One of the upsides to a cash-out refinance is that because you are borrowing the money, that debt isn't taxable. That means you get access to cash with no tax implication. If your situation is not temporary and you are unable to continue making payments on your home, a more permanent solution may be the right choice for you. You may need to sell your home and secure more affordable living accommodations. Your realtor can have your home on the market in a matter of days, and then within 45 to 60 days, you'll be out from under the pressure of those mortgage payments. My biggest caution here is to do your research on your rental options before you decide to make this big life decision. Rental rates are up too, and you may have a big payment shock if you haven't been watching the rental market lately. The bottom line is that having information is critical in solving all problems. As realtors, we are often brought in when it is too late for some of these options. I recall meeting with an elderly lady last year who had used up all of her savings to keep her mortgage current. She was down to the last payment. I begged her to find a roommate and to keep her home, but she had already given up on that idea. We sold it for top dollar and she was able to move in with a friend, but I still wish she would have considered other options. There is no substitute for the security of owning your own home. My encouragement to you is this: let us help you. Have your realtor on speed dial. It is truly an honor to provide options and information, solve problems, and find solutions, even when none of those options mean we get to sell a house. This is a people business, and people need the right professional to help them along the way. Are there real estate topics you want to learn more about? Send us a message at info@aboutmansfield.com. For the About Mansfield podcast, I'm Beth Steinke with Century 21 Judge Fight.
Shaken or stirred, you know it's going to be good as Brian Certain serves up tradition steeped in dirty lore in the cocktail of the week. Brian.
During the month of May, we'll be talking about the quintessential American spirit, bourbon. Bourbon has been an integral part of the nation's drinking culture for centuries. Its rich, complex flavor profile and versatility have made it a beloved choice for cocktail enthusiasts and mixologists alike. From the bustling bars of New York City to the front porches of the South, bourbon has been the star of countless classic cocktails that have stood the test of time. Bourbon, America's native spirit, has a rich history that dates back centuries. Its origins can be traced back to the late 1800s in the Kentucky region of the United States. The name bourbon is believed to come from the French Bourbon dynasty that ruled France from the 16th to the 18th century. And the Kentucky County and its namesake whiskey took the name to honor the French royals' family support during the American Revolutionary War. The early settlers of Kentucky, primarily from Scotland and Ireland, brought with them the knowledge of distilling whiskey. They found the area's fertile soil, abundant water sources, and unique climate were perfect for growing corn, which became the primary grain used for the production of bourbon. In the early years, whiskey was often used as a form of currency and was even used to pay taxes. The Bottled and Bond Act of 1897 established very strict standards for bourbon production, ensuring its quality and authenticity. This act required that bourbon be made from a mixture of grains with at least 51% corn, aged in new charred oak barrels for a minimum of 4 years. The unique aging process in charred oak barrels is what gives bourbon its distinct amber color and its smooth, mellow flavor. The charring of the barrel caramelizes the natural sugars of the wood, which then infuse the whiskey with its signature notes of caramel, vanilla, and oak. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, bourbon's popularity steadily grew. However, the industry faced significant challenges during the Prohibition era, 1920 to 1933, when the Prohibition and the sale of alcohol was banned in the United States. Many distilleries were forced to close down. Some never reopened. However, not all were shut down, contrary to what most people think. After the repeal of Prohibition in 1933, the bourbon industry slowly recovered. By 1964, the United States Congress officially recognized bourbon as the distinctive product of the United States, solidifying its status as America's native spirit. This recognition came with a set of regulations that defined the production process and ensured the quality and consistency of bourbon. Today, bourbon is enjoyed by whiskey enthusiasts worldwide and is an essential part of the American culture and history. The industry has experienced a resurgence in recent years with an increase in craft and small batch productions. Many new distilleries have opened and established brands and have introduced new expressions and limited edition releases. The Kentucky Bourbon Trail, established in 1999, has become a popular tourist attraction showcasing the state's rich bourbon heritage. Visitors can tour distilleries, learn about the production process, and sample various bourbons. Personally, I've visited the trail 4 times over the last 20 years. But in addition to its cultural significance, bourbon also played a role in shaping American politics and society. It's also been the subject of trade disputes with countries like Japan and the European Union, challenging the exclusive use of the term bourbon for whiskey produced in the United States. Bourbon's popularity has led to the rise of bourbon-focused bars, restaurants, and festivals across the country. The spirit has become a staple in classic cocktails like the Old Fashioned and the Manhattan, as well as key ingredients in culinary dishes from barbecue sauces to desserts. As the bourbon industry continues to grow and evolve, it remains deeply rooted in its Kentucky heritage and American identity. With its rich history, distinct flavor, and cultural significance, bourbon will undoubtedly continue to be celebrated and enjoyed for generations to come. But all during the month of May, we will be exploring the fascinating world of classic bourbon cocktails, delving into their rich histories, unique flavor profiles, and the stories behind their creation. Each cocktail represents a chapter in the ever-evolving narrative of American mixology, showcasing the ingenuity, creativity, and passion of the bartenders who have shaped the craft over the years. As we navigate through the world of classic bourbon cocktails, we'll uncover the stories behind the mint julep, which is a refreshing and iconic Southern libation, and the paper plain, a bold and complex cocktail that has gained devoted followings among bourbon enthusiasts. Throughout this month, we'll not only provide you with the recipes and techniques needed to craft these cultural classics, but we'll also share insights into the cultural and historical significance of each drink. We'll explore how these cocktails have evolved, how they've been influenced by modern mixology, and how they continue to captivate and inspire cocktail lovers around the world. So whether you're a seasoned bourbon connoisseur or a curious newcomer to the world of whiskey cocktails, join us all month for an exciting journey through the realm of classic bourbon creations. Grab a glass, gather your ingredients, and let's raise a toast to the timeless treasures that have shaped the American mixology landscape. And until next week, as Mark Twain said, too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is barely enough. Reporting for the About Mansfield podcast, I'm Brian Certain.
We're back in 60 seconds with Steve's interview with Mitchelle Handley.
Imagine a city where innovation knows no bounds, where dreams take flight, and the future unfolds before your very eyes. Welcome to Mansfield, a beacon of growth and a testament to vision. In the heart of Mansfield, a remarkable transformation is underway. But it's not just about the physical landscape. It's about the spirit that drives us forward. A spirit of collaboration that bridges cultures, a spirit of entrepreneurship that fuels prosperity, and a spirit of community that binds us as one. Mansfield is more than just a place. It's a canvas where diversity paints the picture of progress. From art festivals that ignite creativity to tech hubs that redefine boundaries, this city celebrates every voice, every passion. Mansfield, where growth knows no limits and the vision is limitless. Brought to you by the unstoppable spirit of the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation.
Hi, I'm Troy Dorsey, 8-time world boxing, kickboxing, and karate champion from Mansfield, Texas. And you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to another segment of About Mansfield. I'm Steve Casillo as we make the transition from news to talk. And in the studio today, I don't think in the almost 4.5 years that we've been doing the podcast, I'm pretty sure that we have not had a Guinness World Record holder in the studio until today. And we'll find out more about that as the interview progresses. But first of all, Mitchelle Handley, welcome to About Mansfield.
Thank you, Steve.
And let's find out about Mitchelle Handley. First of all, yes, you are a Guinness World Record holder, are you not?
I am. Well, they have to verify, but so far I am.
So far. And when do we find out whether you've been verified or not?
It takes them really long time to do that. So I've submitted everything, just waiting on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that in a second. But first of all, your accent says that you're not from around here. It's not a typical Texas accent. Where are you from?
Well, originally I'm from Nigeria.
From Nigeria.
Yes.
How long have you been in? Let's start with the United States.
I've been in the United States since 2015.
How long have you been in Texas?
I've been in Texas since 2021, just a little bit after, during the COVID or after when the COVID have subsided.
Yeah. What brought you to Mansfield?
My husband?
That's funny because my wife brought me to Mansfield.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
For real, it's my husband.
Yeah?
I would not have choose Mansfield or no Mansfield to come to.
Is your husband Nigerian?
No, my husband is from California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Orange County.
Okay. Just up the road from where I'm from.
Oh,
Yeah.
from California?
I'm from San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nice place,
Yeah,
huh?
that's true. Up the road. When we visit, we always take a drive down.
Why did you leave Nigeria? First of all, let's talk about Nigeria because I don't know much about it. I failed world geography. I do know it's in Africa.
West Africa.
What was life in Nigeria like? And then again, why did you leave?
Well, I left Nigeria at the age of 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
You're just a youngin' then. Wait, you said you moved here in 2015.
Yeah, but I've been moving to other countries.
Oh. Okay, you moved at the age of 5, so you really don't have a whole lot of recollection of Nigeria.
Well, I do a little bit, time to time. I go back to visit, so I do have some memory. I moved back back in 2003 to spend some time there, which is like from 2003 to 2010. So I got a lot of memory.
Okay.
Yeah.
From Nigeria, while you were living in Nigeria, your age range was where when you were living there? So from birth to 5.
Yes, and then later as a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, to adult.
And really, the most I know about Africa in general is that is Nigeria in the Sahara Desert.
No.
Okay, so it's not hot.
No, it's not. There's the hot, but Africa generally is hot.
Yeah.
So it's always hot, but it's also it's not like humid. It's not like Texas hot.
Okay.
Yeah, Texas hot can. Texas hot is not found anywhere in the world except Nevada, Las Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the 2 places I've seen that is so hot.
So Nigeria is a dry heat.
Yeah, with wind but it's not. I think Texas hot is like it's coming out from the ground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
How does the food differ from Texas, from America to Nigeria? What's going on the plates at dinner time in Nigeria?
Oh, they have all kinds of delicacy.
Yeah. Such as?
Their main delicacies are gari, fufu, with soup, rice, jollof rice, Nigerian jollof rice. It's a thing on the internet. I'm sure you must have heard about Nigerian jollof rice, fufu and egusi, yam, panda yam. They have name it.
Let's go back to fufu.
Okay.
What is in fufu?
So fufu, there's different kinds of fufu.
Okay.
There's yam. Yam is just like potatoes, which you can make the flour and then you make it to become fufu, just with the starch that makes it fufu. It's not like mashed potatoes. You make mashed potatoes just similar, but it has to have starch, a lot of starch to hold it,
right.
Not like too soft.
And then you mentioned one, I think it's gari?
Yeah, gari is made from cassava.
Okay.
Which is yuca.
Yucca
or yucca or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's cassava. Yeah, gari is made from that.
Okay.
So you can use it to make fufu.
So there are some foods that you can find in America.
Oh, yeah.
That are in Africa. And you mentioned the yam or the sweet potato and the cassava.
Definitely.
That you can find in America.
Yeah, the plantain, everything.
Okay.
Kroger has them, Market Street have them.
You said you lived in other countries.
Yes, I do.
Whereabouts?
I grew up in Cameroon.
Cameroon. And why did you move to Cameroon?
Well, it wasn't me. It's just a child in me that was curious. My aunt, she loved traveling, and she was based at that time in Cameroon, and she came back to visit. And I was like, I want to travel with her. And my parents was like, what? I was crying. And I remember going to my grandmother's house, which is my mom's mom, and telling her that I want to go with my aunt because that's my aunt from my mom's side. And they were looking at me like, this 5 years, crazy, want to travel all the way across the ocean, Atlantic Ocean. Well, take flight, but, it's water that separated Cameroon from Nigeria, the Atlantic Ocean. So finally, they let me go. And that was the beginning of it.
I know that there's someone out there right now listening that says, where is Cameroon? So explain where on the map they can find the country of Cameroon.
Well, beside Nigeria, Chad,
okay.
There's, you can find it on the map somewhere. It's also West Africa.
Okay. Right in that the same area.
Yeah.
Did you also then live in any other countries?
Yeah, Guinea Equatorial.
Where is that?
Malabo, the only country in Africa that speaks Spanish.
Really?
Yes. It's an island.
And do you speak Spanish?
A little bit, but it's French more.
Okay. Out of that, because I do know that some of the African countries, they do speak other than their own native language.
Oh, yeah.
Is French spoken in Nigeria?
No, but French is spoken in Cameroon. The French side, Cameroon is bilingual, so they have the English side, which is the southwest and northwest, and then the rest of the provinces are French.
And eventually, you made it to the United States.
Yes.
And how did you make that transition from Africa to the United States?
Well, I've been traveling other places, Europe and other, before coming to the United States. Again, it's my husband that made me to come to the United States.
Oh, he made you come to the United States?
Yeah.
Yes.
It won't be my first choice if you hear that. He knows.
Are you enjoying it here, at least?
I am enjoying it. The people are awesome.
Can we talk about your love of cooking?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
Because, again, a note to our listeners, if you would like to go visit the Mansfield Farmers Market, she has been involved with the Farmers Market for several years, and she has her own booth there called Mama Mitchie's Kitchen. And before we get into the world record, let's talk about Mama Mitchie and you yourself. When did you find out that you had a love for cooking?
Since childhood, I've been cooking for my friends, family, and finally during COVID, there was nothing to do, and my friends was like, I think you should have a YouTube channel, something for your cooking, because all the time I'll post food on my personal Facebook handle, and they're like, oh my God, this food. So I decided to, open a page for my food. Then I was looking for name to give to it. I wanted something that when people will see it, because when people think of food, sometimes they think about old people. They don't think about the younger people knowing how to cook. So I was looking for a catchy name. My friends call me Michi, and I was like, okay, Mama Michi's Kitchen it is. I know the name.
During COVID, did you get into the making sourdough bread like everyone else did?
I did. I got into making everything. I was in Guam at that time.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we were in an island, locked down. But, very strict. But we were able, to go out sometimes just by yourself to the beach, stay somewhere, or hike just by yourself because there's nobody literally.
When you are preparing food, let's say, for example, the food for the booth that you have at the farmers market, do any of your international travels play into what you are cooking in the kitchen for the farmers market?
Definitely.
Give me an example.
So the New Orleans beignets. I have the Nigerian chin-chin.
Nigerian chin-chin.
Yes.
Which is, what's in that?
So a lot of people say it reminds them of little bite size of funnel cake.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's street food in West Africa. So a lot of African countries make it, but I specifically making the Nigerian one because I like that.
And your love of cooking led to a world record.
Yes.
55 hours straight
Baking.
of baking.
Nonstop.
Why? And I think I asked you this when I had you on the news back when you did this. That was my very first question is, why? So why did you decide to go for the world record?
Yeah. I love challenges. I love adventures, I guess. And again, it's just also for the younger generation. I have kids. I'm a mother. So I'm trying to set a good standard for them. Not that other people are not setting standard by not breaking the record, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to set a standard for my kids, for them to, my great-grandkids, by the time I'll be gone, they will see something and say, yes, my grandma or great-grandma, she was a fighter, a warrior.
Yeah.
She never stopped.
Look at this. She's in a book. And that 55 hours, what'd you bake? What did you make?
I baked cookies, a lot of cookies.
Yeah.
And cupcake. Well, my husband says it's not cupcake since he doesn't have frosting on it.
Oh. Yeah. What would you call that? A cupcake without frosting?
Cake.
Just cake in a cup.
In a cup.
But it's not a cupcake.
Yeah. Well, there's no way I could do the frosting since the time does not count.
That's true.
So I'm not going to do anything.
But you had people in your home almost 24/7. Couldn't they have put the frosting on the cake?
No, I didn't want them to take that time. But, they can save their energy for something better. But everyone was happy with the cake, cupcake, or whatever. They said it tasted great.
How many people did you have in support behind you for 55 hours? First of all, was your husband always awake during the 55 hours? And
No. None of them was always awake.
But talk about your support staff that kept you going.
Oh, yes. They did a great job, fantastic job. And they took turns, they could only do 4 hours of volunteer time, and then they can stay behind the scene and just support and, but yeah, they were great. I got almost 42 staff helping me. Yeah, they were up to 42.
And I know the police came and checked on you.
Yeah, the fire department.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they did stop by. And lots of guests because we had a guest book for them to sign in. So almost 300 guests.
Wow.
That showed up.
In what, 4 days?
3 days.
3 days?
Yeah.
It's 55 hours, yeah. Okay, that'd be 3 days.
Yeah, 2.5, yeah.
300 guests. Did they all leave with cookies and cupcakes?
Most of them did. Probably they did. I can't keep track. I was busy.
So you're baking for 55 hours. Where did you have to pay for all the supplies, the flour and the sugar and all the ingredients? Plus, then you've got all the baking pans. Did you pay for all that?
My husband paid for some of them. My friends donated some of the stuff. So yeah.
Wow. But you did it, 55 hours.
Yes.
What was the old record?
It was 47 hours, 21 minutes, and 21 seconds.
And you went 55 hours and...
Just 55 hours.
And no minutes and no seconds?
No.
Okay. Exactly. 55 minutes exactly. That's cool.
55 hours exactly, yeah.
You mentioned kids. You mentioned mother. You have kids. You're a mother. You're also a wife. You're a woman who does not rest on your laurels, and you've now gone on to a new project. And talk about first of all, let's talk about the Mrs. Mansfield title that you have. And how did you get that title?
So I got the title through when I decided to join Mrs. Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to represent a community. And since I'm in Mansfield, that's how I got the title. I got to represent Mansfield.
Let's go back then just a second. How does one join Mrs. Texas?
Well, you submit applications and they go through it and see if your fit, meet all the requirements that they are looking for, and, some interviews and get you approved.
Okay. So, and then in this case, there was no beauty pageant or anything having to do with Mrs. Mansfield.
No.
That your application passed the test and they said that, okay, you are now Mrs. Mansfield. You're going to represent our community.
Right.
In the Mrs. Texas
Yes.
event.
Yeah.
All right. How many Mrs. community people are out there? How many people are out of the one person who's going to become Mrs. Texas? How many people are there?
I'm really not sure. They're the one to make that, they don't share that with us. They don't disclose it. How many people has applied also. It's only one person that can come out from one community. I think I was doing some research and I found one that represented, I'm not sure if it's 2021 that she did or 2022. I saw her post somewhere, which I was doing my research.
From Mrs. Mansfield?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're not the first Mrs. Mansfield.
I'm not the first. I've seen one from my research.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen previous one.
When does the Mrs. Texas event happen?
Oh, it starts from the first week of May, which is from the 2nd of May through the 4th of May.
May 2nd through May 4th?
Yeah.
And people can vote for you?
Yes, right now people they have the Facebook contest, which is the person with the most like wins. But before you vote for me, you have to like their page, Mrs. Texas Pageant. You have to like their page. Then you see my picture. You scroll down to the pictures and you see Mrs. Mansfield, and then you just hit the like button. That's how you vote.
First, you have to like the Mrs. Texas Pageant page.
Yes, for your vote to count.
Okay. Then you scroll down until you see Mitchelle Handley.
Mrs. Texas.
Mrs. Texas. Mrs. Mansfield.
Mansfield, sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
Mrs. Mansfield. And then you like that photo.
Yes. That's how your vote counts.
And then you find out on May 4th who the winner is?
Yeah, find out May 4th. I think so.
What happens to Mrs. Texas, the one and only newly crowned Mrs. Texas? Does she move on to another level?
Yeah, she moved on to another pageant. They get to sponsor the person that, I think she moved on to Mrs. USA. Then from Mrs. USA, if she wins, then it will be Mrs. Worldwide.
Mrs. Worldwide. Is there a Mrs. Universe?
I've seen Mrs. Universe and Mrs. Ed.
So, all right. But we're just starting in this little community of 36 square miles. You are Mrs. Mansfield.
Right.
And in the I have to keep looking at your sash here to keep reminding me that it's the Mrs. Texas pageant.
Yeah.
And so Mitchelle Handley is the name. So go to, on Facebook, the Mrs. Texas Pageant Facebook page and like the page, which will get you into the page. And then go seek out Mitchelle Handley, who is the Mrs. Mansfield representative, and like her, so she can win and represent Mansfield and Texas further on.
Please do.
What else is on your plate? You've got the world record. You've got the booth at the farmers market. You've got the Mrs. Mansfield. What else are you up to?
I'm always up to something.
Yeah.
I would say, you should wait for the surprise. I'm full of surprises.
Where are you going to be in 5 years? What's in the future for Mitchelle Handley?
Oh my God. The future is great. It's looking bright and great. I can't say for now because things may change, Just keeping everything open.
Okay.
Keeping all the doors open.
Keeping the options.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Steve.
I have to say, first of all, I've never interviewed anyone from Africa.
Oh.
I've never interviewed a world record holder, and I've never interviewed a pageant representative. So that's one. That's 3 of 3. And it all comes in one big bundle. So thank you for checking those off of my list.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to head on over to Facebook, and I'm going to like your photo and hopefully get you to that next level of Mrs. Texas.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I appreciate your time. Thank you for being on About Mansfield.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Coming up next week on About Mansfield, we will talk with yet another fine person from the Mansfield community. You will just have to tune in to find out who it is. In the meantime, this is the place where you will hear the latest Mansfield news, talk, and information. Until then, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, love, or support this podcast if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. It's free and it's easy. Head on over to our website, aboutmansfield.com, and enter your email address right there on the homepage. We will never send you any spam. We promise.
About Mansfield is recorded at Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio. Hosts Steve Casillo and Colleen Daniel. Moment with the Mayor feature Michael Evans. Methodist Mansfield News to Know, Angel Biasatti. Mansfield Real Estate Market Update, Beth Steinke. Cultural Arts Calendar, Tim Roberts. Cocktail of the Week, Brian Certain. Post-production editing, mixing, and mastering, Steve Casillo and Andrew Miner.
This podcast is copyrighted by Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this podcast without written consent is prohibited. We thank you all for listening on behalf of the entire news team. And thanks again, Marilyn. I'm Steve Casillo, and this is About Mansfield.